Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Megs. I'm a mum to a very busy toddler and a content creator. You may have seen me on TikTok, that is my main platform that you might have seen me on. And today I'm going to share with you something really personal. My journey through being diagnosed with combined ADHD in the UK through Right to Choose. Let's get to the nitty gritty. Why I went down this road. For years, I struggled with things that felt small for people, but for me was huge. Forgetting appointments, that's like Mason's important like reviews that your child has every year. I'd forget every single appointment, doctor's appointment, even for myself. I'd zone out mid-conversation. I did it when I was working and even now still. I even start a couple of things and all at the same time, and I end up just losing interest and not doing any at all. Just like my business at the moment, which is still in my bedroom, but it's still there. Like all the other hobbies I have lying around the flat, such as my knitting era, my business era, even my media toolkits have become another hobby that I've forgotten about. Start them and just not finish them. I genuinely just thought I was disorganised and just forgetful. I'd always blame baby brain, and when you become a mum, you end up having a lot of that, which is quite natural being a busy mum, but for me it was a lot more than that, and it stemmed from years prior. And just generally like people just thought I was lazy, or I just wasn't trying hard enough, and then I'd push myself and I felt like I wasn't trying hard enough. But when I became a mum, things changed massively. Towards the end of my pregnancy, I knew something was going on, but I was a bit on edge about it. But I did mention it to the doctor. I did call up and say to him that I was feeling on edge, was feeling a bit low. But then when Mason came along, I was constantly overwhelmed 24/7. I even went back on sertraline, which is an antidepressant, and yet again that didn't touch me at all. It didn't make me feel any better. It didn't make me feel worse. It just made me feel the same. I just generally just couldn't keep up with myself. I was just being I felt like I was losing my mind a little bit.
Have you lost your mind? Go! You disgust me! Go!
I was overstimulated. I was exhausted to a T. Like, there's exhaustion, and then there was me just asleep all the time. It got to a point where I had to have a Red Bull every single day, morning and night, because I just had to stay awake. And then it got to a point where I was having them Red Bulls and I ended up just falling asleep anyway. And even when like Mason would cry, it would feel really overwhelming. It was like echoes in my ears. It was really, really tough for me. I felt like I just couldn't have that connection. Even when I was trying to breastfeed, I just didn't get it, and I just couldn't seem to make that connection emotionally. A few weeks after I had tried a second lot of antidepressants that didn't work, that made it worse, I decided to refer myself to CBT therapy again, and this would have been the third time now when I had CBT. The CBTs that I've had prior have been based on my trauma. At the time when I had referred myself back to therapy, I was going through a lot of postpartum depression. As I was going through the whole talking process, my therapist had picked up a couple of things that were different that a lot of the other therapists that I had that had not picked this up. One day she said to me, Megan, have you ever thought about ADHD and whether you've got ADHD? And I sat there and I thought, what? Like, ADHD? And I knew anyway that my family had traces of ADHD, but I wasn't so sure of it. It made me question everything in my life currently and in the past. But we went ahead anyway, and I gave permission to just do the ADHD questionnaire that she filled out. Showed the doctor that this is my concerns and I'd like her to be referred. I'll put up what it looks like. This is what I grabbed from Google, and this is exactly what it looked like. I did tick pretty much every single one of them apart from two, which was often rather than all the time. But I felt like as I went on, I sort of did feel like it was something that was silently going on that I didn't even realise. I just thought I might have just been someone that just didn't understand. But I always question myself why I couldn't get things right, like in math lessons. Like, why can't I just write this in an exam? Why can't I just do my exams? Why am I forgetting these things? Because I'd spent hours and hours and hours revising, but I just couldn't crack it, and why I felt so under pressure. And I did walk out in my exams crying and having a panic attack because I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't bear it. Anyway, we went through with the whole process, the referral. I had a few options. I could go private. I could go through the NHS, like through my GP, or I could just do this thing called Right to Choose, which is an NHS funded provider. And Right to Choose specialise in things like ADHD and autism. All these organisations are based in England, but this allows you to be referred by your GP to an NHS funded provider in the UK, like Psychiatry UK, like who I had picked. When you first do this, you can go in and say, I think I have ADHD, can I be referred? And they'll refer you that way through Right to Choose when you ask them. And this is just a quicker way for you to get assessed rather than going through the GP themselves on the NHS and not through the private provider, which can take 5 years through the NHS, which is crazy. People don't actually know that you can just go on Right to Choose now despite you waiting. You can do that. So you can switch. You just have to go through your GP and just do it all over again. You can find all this on the Psychiatry UK website, literally everything you can find, or you can just go on Right to Choose, you'll find everything there. And all these providers give you all the waiting time. Now we've got to the point where we're doing the wait and the assessment time. After my GP had sent the referral to Psychiatry UK, this is where the wait began. I was made aware that the wait was going to be through Psychiatry UK at least a year. So I was referred in September, and I'd only got the message through the portal literally a couple of weeks ago saying that I could make the appointment in July, and I thought amazing, and I actually booked the appointment for July, which we're in now, and I had the assessment. So it literally took 10 months. It was like 2 months shorter than what it originally said, so it was brilliant. When my appointment came to the day, it was literally 90 minutes long. He was very lovely, very sweet, and we just went through all the basic details. Asked me about my childhood, how I did in school, like exams and stuff, how I was around people, how I function now, anything in my family that it was only one in my family that had ADHD, a lot of things like emotional regulation, how my relationships with my parents are, my friendships, my relationships. And you've really got to make it short and brief because you are really on a time crunch and the time goes so quickly. I did have to fill out a couple of forms that my mum had to fill out as well. You can do it doesn't have to be a parent, it could be a friend, anybody that knows you. I did my therapist and I did my mum just because I feel like some of the childhood questions she would know. Things like, was I a late walker, or did I talk first, or did I have any accidents at nursery? What was I like in school when I was really young? Was my behaviour obstructive? Things like that. During that whole assessment, he had told me at the end that he can confirm that he was strongly confident that I had combined type ADHD. I cannot describe how that felt to me to be able to get that. And some people would cry, but you could see that when I recorded the whole diagnosis, me actually seeing it in real life on TikTok, and you can see that video. It's very, very emotional road to go down because you feel like now you're getting the answers and you're not just a lazy person, you're not just disorganised, you're not this person that people are saying you are. You've actually got something that is causing you to be like this. It doesn't define me on who I am. It just makes it a lot better for people to understand me and be more patient with me. But all I can say is it felt like someone had put everything that I'd experienced, all my words that I had described, that I just hadn't been able to explain into whole one big picture. Towards the end of the call, he had spoken to me about medication. I'll put up what it was called here, but this is the type of drug that I'm going to be having. It's between 2 different medications that I think that contain this drug, but I'm not too sure yet. I haven't gone down that road yet, but I will be on ADHD medication. When you go down this road and discuss the medication, they explain to you the risks, the pros and the cons of the medication, how you're going to feel, the side effects. And before you go on the medication with Psychiatry UK, I don't know if it's the same with any other ones, I'm not too sure, you have to go on a thing called titration, which is like a waiting list, which he described to me as it would be 7 to 8 months. And basically, when they introduce an ADHD drug or any sort of drug like this to anybody, they have to monitor it. So they start you at the lowest dose, and then they have to gradually monitor you every couple of weeks. Things every 2 or 4 weeks, they have to monitor you. And this is just to see if you feel any different. If you feel like they're not working, then they can up your dose. It just works out what's best. A big thing popped up in terms of medication, because we're trying for baby number 2. ADHD medication is not recommended to have when you are pregnant and when you are breastfeeding. Even though you can breastfeed when you're on ADHD medication, it would have to be the lowest dose. But there is a lot of support evidence to say it doesn't affect the baby when you're breastfeeding, but a low dose does go through the breast milk. But again, that baby has to be monitored for any side effects and things. Said to me, if you get pregnant within this waiting time before the medication, just let us know, and they can put it on a hold. And then if I end up not getting pregnant and I'm on ADHD medication, and I fall pregnant, we can then discuss whether it is suitable to lower the dose or whether I can just come off completely. But for me, I feel like I would just come off it completely until I've had the baby, until I've figured out what I want to do when the baby's born. But I said we'll cross that bridge when it comes. And I know there's so much support that I have at the moment with my health visitors and my doctors. Everything is going very, very nicely. And there's no shame in that, especially asking for help. Any advice for anyone that is watching this video and you've managed to make it all the way through? Congratulations. I'm surprised you didn't get bored of me talking like a lot of people do. If any of this sounds familiar, you feel like your brain is always on, or like you're drowning in the chaos of your life, please know that you are not alone in this. ADHD women, especially mums, is so misunderstood. If you have any concerns about yourself, just talk to your GP, talk to your therapist about it. Don't be afraid to ask for support. Don't feel any shame. Thank you guys for watching and taking your time in watching this video. If this has helped you, just please like this video, comment your story. We're all here to support you. I'm sure of it, and I'm positive there is so many people out there that get you, and if you feel the same, then I get you too. My DMs are always open. My socials are always open. I've listed all my socials down below for you. All the links that you need is down below, and all the information. You're not broken. You're not too much. You're just wired differently. And that's not only okay, that's powerful. Thank you guys for watching.
Inspirasi tanpa batas, you know who I am. Notasi berotasi, telepati, stay the best man. You got it, movement, chill brotherhood. Rangkul lintas era, I'm proud to do that. Let's move, tepis ragu yang membelenggu. Dulu jadi budak, mereka bangga angkat dagu. Aku tetap jadi aku, walau temu titik buntu. Jalanku berkelok, namun fokus titik tuju. They say, jangan jalan di jalanmu, namun kini mereka tiru jalan yang ku tempuh. Mereka ini ikut tren, aku pilih jadi lilin. Walau ku terbakar, aku terangi yang lain. Kopi sampai best, lalu teriak I'm the best. Storytelling tiap bait bak nocturnal, tinggal pupuk best. Nilai pola pikir dikdaya tak kompleks. Why si rapper sombong yang stay di kompleks. Lirik busung lapar butuh kalori, tak perlu cara instan untuk penuhi. Legasi senantiasa akan ku beri, kenang tiap larik di lirik yang ku lancuri. Lirik busung lapar butuh kalori, tak perlu cara instan untuk penuhi. Legasi senantiasa akan ku beri, kenang tiap larik di lirik yang ku lancuri.